Here we go. Twitter be having everything. Thank you. Alien message. Here we go. My bad, chat. What the fuck? This is
okay. So the next day when we woke up, what I found weird, and I swear it wasn't in the house or nothing. We know the whole house before we moved in. I'm gonna show you something. I know it might seem crazy, but I don't know how to explain it. But okay, I'm gonna show you like the garden, right?
Right.
Okay, can you see the angel? The little like cat, whatever it is.
Yes.
You see that bush?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna show you. There's two rocks behind the bush. I'll show you the two big rocks. You see those rocks right there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you something. This is where we sleep. I'll show you. So this is where we sleep. This is like the room area.
Right.
And we woke up the next morning, and that was there. You see? Maybe it's probably for the house, but you can see like a writing. And I swear to God, we didn't do this.
Oh, it almost looks like claw marks.
Maybe, I don't know, but you see the angel and the bush and the two rocks and the star that says here. I don't know. I swear to God, we did. I know this might seem like I'm faking it, but you know.
Nigga, what the fuck is that sound? Nigga, don't be putting no scary movie sound on my shit. Now, chat, I gotta be honest with you. I don't smoke weed. So because I don't smoke weed, sometimes, like, I'm looking at this like, this just look like some shit that needs to be power washed, bro. I don't know what he's trying to say. But of course, I guess if you smoke, it's like, yo, oh, this is a message. This is like some symbols. This was them trying to communicate. I guess. Listen. Only Alex Jones can make sense of this fuckery, bro. I do believe some bullshit happened. I'm going to still stick with my original point. I believe it's the irony of a quote-unquote alien landing, but in Vegas. Area 51 is in Vegas. The government look at Vegas as a open place for the most part with big ass mountains. They're probably always testing things. I actually just want to believe that. I'm sorry, I don't think this is some extraterrestrial shit. I believe the government's behind this. Will we find out what? Probably not. Probably super classified. And who knows? They might be trying to reverse engineer some shit they got, or they might just be try to get some shit into another fucking galaxy and just failed. Who knows? But anyway, let's keep this shit moving, man. What else didn't I talk about? I can't believe it's 2 a.m. already. What did I talk about, chat? Oh, the Jocelyn fight. I don't really care about that shit, bro. Y'all want me to talk about that? All right, bet.
Exclusive television interview. Welcome. Have a seat. Maybe start off telling me your name and who you are.
My name is David Grusch. I came from a blue-collar family in Pittsburgh. I didn't have the money for college. Always admired people in uniform. And I've always wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. 18 years ago, I got an Air Force scholarship for physics. I originally commissioned on active duty in the Air Force. Served 14 years in the Air Force.
I look at this photograph, Dave, and I see a very proud officer.
I was getting promoted to captain when I was deployed.
And you still love your country, don't you?
Absolutely.
A career intelligence officer, Grusch spent time on the ground in Afghanistan.
All right, let's get straight to the shit.
And other
The ability to be read into any program that I needed. At one point in time, senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
You are alleging that the US government has been concealing the existence on this planet of alien life.
I would couch it as non-human intelligence, NHI, like we would like to say in our language.
Why do you say that? Why do you say NHI?
I don't want to necessarily denote origin. I don't think we have all the data to say, oh, they're coming from a certain location, and I couch it as somebody who studied physics, where maybe they're coming from a different physical dimension, as described in quantum mechanics. We know there's extra dimensions due to high energy particle collisions, etc. And there's a theoretical framework to explain that. Yeah.
Just let me cut to the quick though. You're saying there is an intelligent species engaging with this planet?
Yes, that's potentially extraterrestrial. Yeah.
I speak for everybody sitting at home. That is a shock.
It was to me, and I had a lot of sleepless nights.
Grusch says he's never personally seen non-human intelligence, but he's spoken to enough people directly involved in what he calls the program that he's convinced it's real.
I started out as a non-believer. I came to the problem as a hardcore physics guy, intel officer, so I have a, excuse my language, high factor. I was very methodical, interviewing people who didn't know each other, making sure this wasn't some kind of cover-up of some other program.
He says he pressed to gain direct access to this program, and that's when his trouble started. Grusch claims his investigation was stymied, his requests for access rebuffed.
They shut the door in my face. They denied me access to these programs.
Soon after, he says, he endured reprisals and retaliation from above. He then reported that information to the Intelligence Community Inspector General. That's why he's filed this whistleblower complaint. He says that experience is why he decided to go public here and in a recent article written by Leslie Kane in The Debrief. You're not being paid for this interview?
No, I'm not.
Why are you doing this?
It's a sense of service, Call me a Boy Scout or whatever. It just, when I saw the kind of wrongdoing I did, I don't want to be 60, 70 years old in the future.
All right, okay, what the fuck is this thing saying?
Dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
Have you seen spacecraft?
I've seen some interesting photos and I've read some very interesting reports.
But he says the specific documents and photos that would prove his claims are still classified, and he cannot disclose them here. Let's deal with the issue of your credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we believe you? You're just somebody coming out of nowhere, making claims that we really ultimately can't prove.
Yeah. Well, we provided the proof internally to the Inspector General and the Hill staff, and we went into all the details. I mean, I have the credentials. I was an intelligence officer on the UAP task force.
But let's face it, allegations of aliens and their spacecraft are hard to accept, even coming from a respected insider. Even if you call them NHI and UAP, how could such NHI travel to Earth in the first place and go undetected by the general public? Grusch says the craft may not be travelling through space as we understand it.
It is a well-established fact, at least mathematically and based on empirical observation and analysis, that there most likely are physical additional spatial dimensions. And you could imagine in 4 and 5D space where what we experience as linear time ends up being a physical dimension in higher dimensional space, where if you were living there, you could translate across what we perceive as a linear flow. So there is a possibility that, and this is a theory here, I'm not saying this is 100% the case, but It could be that this is not necessarily extraterrestrial and it's actually coming from a higher dimensional physical space that might be co-located, right here.
What can you tell me about these craft, these technologies? Why do you know it's exotic?
Based on the very specific properties that I was briefed on, isotopic ratios that would have to be engineered for it to be at those levels, but also just extremely strange, heavy atomic metal, high up in the periodic table arrangements that we don't understand, what the emergent properties are, but there's just a very strange mix of elements.
So you're absolutely sure that the materials that these craft are made of are clearly not of this earth?
Yeah, they're sophisticatedly engineered, certainly not by humans.
And while Grusch says the US has gleaned some
All right, man. I feel like this is about to get dug up all over again. This guy's basically a whistleblower who's saying that, he kind of knows about aliens interacting with Earth. I'm going to say this. He said something very interesting, and this is like some geeky shit, I guess. I do believe that if aliens were to come here, it would be what he's saying. Through maybe another dimension. I don't want to call it like a portal, but like something where you wouldn't have to travel light years through time to get here. I do believe that. What does that look like? Shit. Scientifically, I'm not even in the position of knowing what the fuck that could even mean. I don't even think most people on Earth would know what the fuck that could even mean, but it is what it is. Anyway,